Hi, my name is Barbara and I want to talk to you about the Outin Nano Espresso maker. So it's a portable espresso machine that we've been taking along on our camping trips, but that we also love using at home. And so I'm going to show you how we use it at home and also how we use it in our camper minivan. Are you ready? Let's take a look. Let's start by having a look at the different components of the portable Outin Nano Espresso maker. This right here is your main unit. It does have one power button on the front and then a USB-C port on the back to charge it. This right here is your water compartment that you can fill either cold water or heated water into. This is the lid that sits on top. And this is the stand that also serves double duty as an espresso glass if you don't have any other glasses. If you're going to be using ground coffee beans, you're going to be using this measuring cup here. It holds 5 to 6 grams of coffee. You're going to be pouring it into this and tamper it down with the measuring cup. And this is going to be the lid that then sits inside of this thing that you screw under the main unit. And if you're going to be using an espresso capsule like this one, you're just going to be pushing this one flush into this little gadget right here that then sits inside of this, that then screws under this. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how that works, what that looks like, how long it takes, dependent on whether you use cold water or hot water. Let's start by making an espresso using an espresso capsule, just like this one. This is like a no brand one. So you want to make sure to push it in there flush. Then we're going to put it in here upside down, and then you screw it under here. Make sure it's tight. Set it into the cup, then pour water in there. So I went ahead and heated that up, and I'm going to be using a little more than 50 mils of water, which is just over 1.7 ounces. Lid is on there tight. If you press this button once, it's going to show you the charge, so it's pretty full. And then if you press it for a few seconds, it's going to make a beeping sound, and then it's going to start making the espresso. And that's going to pour right in there. And as you can tell, it takes close to no time to make that espresso or to start the process once you use heated water. So if you have that opportunity, I highly recommend you use it. And according to Outin, you can actually get about 200 espresso shots out of this maker if you charge it once and then you keep using heated water. I have not counted it or the espresso shots that I got out of one full charge, but it is quite a bit. Like, you can get many shots out of there. So 200 might just be right. So let's have a look. Here we go. Yep, that has a beautiful crema. Let me pour it into this glass so you can actually see it better. All right, and next up we're going to make another shot of espresso using the ground coffee. So we're going to fill this in here, tamper it down real good. There we go. Then this is going to sit, oh, can't forget the lid. There we go. Put the lid on there, and we're going to put this in here, and then we are going to screw that part on real tight again. Add the heated water. Put the lid on there, and then rather than pouring it into this espresso holder slash stand, I'm actually going to be putting it into a fresh espresso glass so you can see the espresso as it comes out of there. So again, it takes close to no time to start the process, just maybe like 20 seconds actually. So when you make an espresso using ground espresso beans, it always does make that funny little whistling sound at the end. And that's it. That is it. Those are your 2 espressos. All right, so now we're in our camper minivan and I'm going to show you how long it takes for the Outin to make the espresso if you're using bottled water that has not been heated prior to using it. Also, I'm using this foldable stand for and by the Outin Espresso Maker company just because it's convenient. Obviously, you don't have to use this, and this is something additional that we bought after we purchased this one. But so just FYI, this is going to be super convenient to just use it as a holder. That way you don't have to hold it manually or let it sit in here because it's a little more stable. So we're going to be pouring 50 mils of water into the Outin. This is my preferred drinking water. Obviously, you can use any kind of bottled water. Like before, we're going to press this flush in here, put that in here, put the lid on there, screw it on tight. There we go. That's what it's going to pour into, and then we're just going to press the start button and let it do its magic. So like I said before, it's going to take about 3 to 4 minutes to heat up the water, and one thing to keep in mind is that it's going to use quite a bit of its charge. So you're only going to get about 4 to 5 50 milliliter shots of espresso on one full charge. Something to keep in mind if you're planning on making multiple espresso shots. So now we're getting a little closer. The second LED light is blinking, so it means that the temperature is warming up inside here. And the third light is blinking. We're getting there. Now it's starting to make a little sound, so we're getting closer to the actual espresso boiling process. And now you can hear the water doing its thing in there. Almost ready to make that espresso shot. It's beeping. Smells really good, y'all. I usually wait a few seconds to give it a chance to finish dripping into the cup. That way you don't have as much cleanup after. Obviously, if you're using outside on the beach or in the grass, it doesn't really matter as much, but inside I kind of like to keep it clean. So, here we go. And there's our espresso. Cheers, y'all.